Hi, I'm Tyson.
I'm Colin.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Adam.
And we're the Gamesmiths, and we're here to learn how to play Patrol, a coloring card game.
That's right. I keep thinking, because the top of the page here says Patrol Rules, that's the name of the game, but it's just Patrol. Okay. So basically, we have ourselves here a card battling game where we're going to be battling cards with the cards that we have. But it also has a twist of you can color and kind of customize your own decks. So we'll be going through kind of some of these. We can do, we'll do one of these guys. But yeah, so I'm sorry, we got the coloring. We have the colored ones and we have the uncolored ones here. So the base game, and we're gonna play through both versions. So the base game it comes like this, and the cards are uncolored, and they still have all their abilities and everything like that. Or you can color them in, and depending on what colors you choose, they're granted different abilities and buffs and stuff like that, depending on what you pick. So we already have there's some rules here for deck construction. But we already have our decks built. These are kind of the starter decks, 36 cards each, I believe. And to start the game, each player, well, let's go through the card layout here. So each card has a name, an ability, and a level. And then here is like the color, bubble, and like ability type. So you can put in additional information there. So I can do like fighter here. Oh, that's a terrible example because of what I picked. Okay, so let's say instead, let's pick a good one.
Well, these are your abilities, additional abilities that you can have, such as poison, which puts a poison counter on a certain card you have, or on an enemy card, and that gets killed at the end of the round. There's abilities which either
so we can have
buff or debuff your cards, so they can like add attack or defense, and then you just modify in that little bottom section.
Yeah, so right here, like I made this samurai into a poison samurai, and so I just added the color green, and then down here in the box I wrote poison to remember that. So this is where you have the additional, the lime. So this is where you have the additional information, and we'll go over all the colors in a little bit here in a little more detail. So each card has a name, their ability, and then their ability type. So there are 3 ability types: reveal, passive, and defensive, and we'll get to those. And then the description of their ability and their level. So everybody's level is assumed to be their base attack and defense. So an amateur has 1 attack, 1 defense. A brawler has 2 attack, 2 defense, so on and so forth. There are colors that can change that and such, and if they are, they'll note them. The reveal abilities are like on the amateur here. So when you start off each round with all of your cards face down, so they don't know kind of which one's which, and when you reveal this amateur, their ability is ineptitude. Reveal amateur to deal 3 damage to an enemy unit. Ineptitude kills the amateur. So basically it blows itself up and does 3 damage to something else because it's inept. And so you would, on your turn, you could use the reveal ability, and we'll go over that a little bit more, and you reveal it, and it does that. You reveal it, it does 3 damage, and then it dies. Brawler has P, which is a passive ability, happens all the time. This one, Brawler gains a temporary level for each enemy it kills in a round. And then finally, there are defensive abilities, like Fear on the Warlock. Reveal Warlock to return an attacking enemy to the enemy base. And so that would be done as a reaction to somebody else's move. So you'd show a defensive ability.
Do you have to use your abilities?
No, and we'll go over that.
Okay.
So there are a few characters that have range. So generally, on each turn, you're going to put out essentially your patrols, like lay out your units to go fight. And they will engage with another patrol. So like I'll put together my group of, 3 guys, and Tyson will have his group of 3 guys, and then they'll meet, and these 3 guys will fight these 3 guys, and then I'll have a group of 2, and Tyson will have a group of 2, and they'll fight over here. And each
Or
group,
not necessarily.
well, yeah, not necessarily, but for example. So each group is going to fight each other. So like my 3 will fight his 3, and these 2 will fight these 2, and they can only fight the ones that they're engaged with unless they have the ranged ability. Then that will let them attack a group that they're not engaged with, or essentially anybody. The range will let you attack essentially anybody on the board.
Unless you have mobility, and then you can switch to a different patrol.
Right, but that doesn't change who you're allowed to attack.
Yeah.
You're still only allowed to attack the people. Plug it down there. So at the beginning of the round, everybody has their deck, and they're going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the top. And then, say we just have another hand over here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, there, you're hiding your deck. That's okay. We'll keep these,
Separate.
yeah,
Get
from
that
the same
one.
deck. So, yeah, these are all from the same deck. We won't mix them together. So just keep that one. It's
Okay.
fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll have 2 hands of 5. And essentially you'll look and you'll assemble your patrols into squads. And you can do any combination that makes 5. So you can do like 2, 3, 3, or 1, 1, 1, 1, put them all separately. So basically just line them up however you want to line them up in whatever order makes the most sense to you. And lay them out like that. Then the next thing that's going to happen, and at the beginning of the round, they'll lay that out. The attacker puts theirs out. So let's say I'm the attacker here, and then Tyson's on defense. So then the defenders can put theirs out, and I'm not really looking at these with any strategy, so I don't really know what's going on. But let's say you just decide to line yours up like that. Then once they're chosen and you've separated them, they're kind of stuck like that. Unless they have the mobility ability, and then they can move around. So after they've been,
Closer.
yeah. So after the patrols have been designated, then the attacking player, me, will decide kind of what the first battle that I want is. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take these 3 guys and fight these 2 guys. And I bring this fight together. And then Tyson, as the defender, essentially gets to pick fight number 2. And you could say, well, I want to go 1-on-2 because I know what this one is and it's got tricks, or I want to go like 2-on-2, and you'll set them up like that. And then it's possible you'll have this one guy who's just kind of out of patrol, and he's not really engaged. If he has range or mobility, he might be able to contribute to the fight, but if not, he's kind of going to be out of it. Then we're going to just take turns battling. So when you're battling, the attacker begins the battle phase, and they have 4 actions: attack, use an ability, stay, and run. If you attack as a card with an action. You choose one of your cards to attack. That's not a good one. Sure, that's a good one. And an opponent's card to attack. If these are not already revealed, they'll be revealed in the process. If a card's health is lower than the opponent's attack, the card will die and be placed in the discard pile. Cards that are revealed are able to attack. So in other words, I'm going to say, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to attack this one. And so Tyson and I would both reveal our cards. So go ahead and reveal. You have the Berserker, which gains 1 temporary while attacking, but it's not attacking, and it's a 1. Essentially a 1/1,
wasted.
and it's going up against my 5/5, so it gets destroyed, and it would die.
But when that gets revealed, it destroys all.
Oh yeah, sorry. Reveal,
allies
yeah.
and gets.
Reveal alien to kill. Oh no, that's not true. That's if I'm using the reveal ability. I'm not. I'm just attacking
okay.
with it.
Okay.
So I'm just attacking with this. I'm not using its reveal ability, and so I just attack with this guy, and now your Berserker is essentially dead, and now it's your turn, and you can do, some kind of action. Yeah, so you can look at that one. Okay, so
You
So you can
really
even do
screwed me
this,
over
right?
in this setup, didn't you?
I did. So let's say actually we're gonna put this like this for an actually that's not even a good example because this guy's just too big. So
You swap them out.
yeah, so actually yeah, we'll swap them out for this.
5 is the biggest you can get.
Yeah.
Well,
So we'll swap
unless
them
you
out.
have
We'll
something.
say it's a 4. And we'll say this one's like this. So now it's Tyson's turn, and he wants to reveal an attack. And this mage is ranged, so it can attack at range. And it can attack, say, this thing over there. But 3 isn't higher than 4, so it's not going to be able to win. So, but one thing that you can do when you're attacking is you can sacrifice the adjoining units that you have with it to power it up, essentially. So anytime that so now this 3 is not going to beat this 4, but I can sacrifice these 2 guys and put them in the bin there, and now this ranged is at a 5, and this one's at a 4, and now I've killed it.
Now, do I have to do both, or is it just
One each.
one? It
get
gives you
over 4.
one.
It has to
per.
be higher.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 per. So you would have to do 1 each to get to 5, so that's higher than 4, so
Yeah.
then that kills 4.
Does the
And
tie
so then that
just-
would kill.
Nothing happens.
Right. It's only if one is higher than the other does somebody die. So the warlock dies, and then it would go to the attacker's turn. So now I'm the attacker, and I would look at this, and I would say I want to do. I'm going to look at these. Oh yeah, I want to use this ability. So I'm going to flip over the wizard here, and I'm going to use its reveal ability, which is replace the wizard with a counter equal to half the level of the wizard. And so it's astral projection. So basically I'm making just like a ghost copy of myself. And I would replace it, essentially I would need get a counter.
With the 2?
Yep, with a 2. So then I'd replace it with, yeah, that'll work. That's nice and big.
I thought the counter went on another.
This counter.
We'll be getting other
So-
stuff, yeah.
So this would reveal, so now this is essentially a level 2 because this wizard's level 4, and the wizard is just essentially like off the table. And then when this level 2 dies, the wizard will come back to the table.
Well, I thought the counters were on another character
No.
until
This-
that character
no,
died.
That's,
okay.
okay. So replace a wizard with a counter equal to half of the wizard. So I'm taking this off and replacing it with a counter that's half of its level.
Sure.
That is, there are like 6 different types of counters. We'll go over
Yeah.
that later. So replace it here with the counter. And now that's essentially just a level 2 creature that's replacing this wizard. Then Tyson would get to go, and he's going to decide that he can run. So a player may take a card to their base as their action. So you would just move this back into your base. It doesn't go into your discard pile. It didn't die. It just kind of goes to your back line. You've removed it from combat. It's not going to get, it can't get attacked or anything, but it's also not going to level up at the end of the turn. So at the end of the turn, anything that's left out gets to level up. So then it goes back to my turn, and I get to decide what I want to do. Well, now I want to attack with this token here. So now I'm going to attack this guy. And when I do that, Tyson's going to reveal it because it has a defensive ability, which can be revealed when one of your opponents attack. Rogue, it's a trap. If Rogue is attacked while hidden, reveal to kill the attacker. So you reveal this, and that kills
Your counter.
my counter. So now my counter's gone, and my wizard would come back in. Now it's Tyson's turn again. He can attack somebody with the rogue if he'd like, but yeah,
Sketchy.
don't really like your odds. You can stay and just hope I also stay, but I got a free 4-on-1 there, so I'm probably going to kill that. So you probably just want to retreat and see if you can use your rogue to trap me again. So now there are no more actions. Tyson's out of dudes, or they've all retreated. He can't do anything with them for the rest of the round, and I'm out here like this. So any face-up card, any face-down cards at the end of the round are returned to the base. And there are some cards that will give you temporary levels or different counters and stuff like that. All of those are removed. Then anything that's still out here and still face up gains a permanent level and permanently goes up. This wizard's now a level 5.
Ooh.
And then this wizard is returned to the base and also put face down. And then, so you kind of know, so if you only have one character that's leveled up,
Gotcha.
you kind of lose that surprise, but you get 2 or 3 that's leveled up and they'd all have a token on them. So you probably want to get, make sure you have similar tokens so they can't tell.
Right.
Then these would go back down, they wouldn't get to level up. And then the next thing that we would do is we would essentially draw back up to 5 cards and repeat the process. So I only lost 1 guy in that exchange. Tyson lost 3, so now he gets some new troops and we redeploy. One thing I forgot to mention is you're going to score a point for every level that your guys go up. First one to 20 wins the game, or 10, or you set
You
the limit. So 10
determine,
for a quick game, 20 for a normal game.
Oh.
And so these guys level up, and I score 3 points, and those are permanent points. So if these come out next
And
turn
die,
and
oh.
die, I still keep the 3 points, and
Gotcha.
but then Tyson would level up some of his guys, and Tyson would score some points
Gotcha.
that way. So the rounds basically go back and forth until either both players choose to stay, or both players are out of options and can't do anything.
Can you? Is there a max level? Like, can you go past 6?
No.
Not that I'm aware of. There's no max level. So essentially that's the game, and you're going to go back and forth like that until one player has
20 points.
20 points. Yep. There are a few different types of counters that you'll run into during the game. There's the permanent level counters that we discussed that stick with them through rounds. There's temporary level counters that leave at the end of the round. There's poison counters. If a card gets a poison counter, it is discarded before they would gain a level at the end of the round. Cards that are given poison counters are not automatically revealed. Then there is +1 to attack counter. The card gains 1 attack, and those are permanent. +1 to health counter. The card gains 1 to health, and those are permanent. There is a beast mode counter that's a specific. There's a specific unit that has that ability.
Okay.
That essentially you have the option to send it into beast mode, and you put the beast mode counter on it. And we can kind of deal with these. I don't really want to read and explain
Right.
every single card. It's a pretty good job of explaining. But essentially, beast mode has to be attacked first. So if you flip up a card and put it into beast mode, they have to attack that before they can attack your other things. That thing has to be gotten rid of. And then the wizard counter is the counter that represents a unit created by the wizard card. So that would be just the
what
2,
we
or if the
just
wizard
said,
was a
yeah.
6 at that time, it would be a 3, or however we want to do it. So that is pretty much it. Trying to think if there's anything.
When someone retreats, does that go back to their hand, or does that go just back to base and flip over like this?
Retreat, so when you run,
Goes back to
specifically,
base.
it goes back to your base. A player may return a card to the base as their action. A card is safe from attack but do not gain a level. It can be face down or revealed to run. And face down cards that run remain face down. And then at the end of the round, players they all level up, and you gain points based on level ups. Temporaries are removed, and then everything is turned face down and returned to base.
Okay. So then, are you just drawing out of your deck to replenish the 5 here, or do you ever have a hand
Correct.
that you're choosing who to put down?
No, you just kind of have
You
the
just draw
5
them
that you have, and you draw to replace them at the end.
I mean, the way I read it is that even the face down ones get a level, even if they don't get used. So you could
At
have
the end of the round, all cards that are face up
Oh,
gain a
okay.
level.
Okay. All right.
Players gain a point for each level gained this way.
And the actions again are you can attack, reveal, retreat,
Stay.
Or
stay.
stay, which is
Okay.
it. Yep. Or
Okay.
stay, which is do nothing essentially. And then if we both stay, back to back, if you stay and I stay,
We
then,
score it
then
up.
we score it up.
Okay.
If I stay and then you do something, I have the option of doing something in response, even though I stayed once already.
Okay.
So, any other questions?
I don't have any.
Okay. So wait, the sacrifice. Oh no, I'm sorry. And the sacrifice I misspoke on. When you sacrifice a unit, you add that unit's attack value to
So
it. So
it
if you
isn't-
sacrifice
okay.
a 5, it
You get-
adds 5
that's what I
to
wanted.
the attack, not just 1 to the attack. I misspoke there. So then the final thing is
makes sense.
the colors, and Adam and Tyson will be playing with uncolored decks, but Colin and I will be playing with colored decks. So
There's colored.
here we go. So we have some of our colored guys here, and essentially you can color the cards whatever color you'd like, and it adds new abilities to those cards. So there are 6 families with 2 abilities in it each, and you can add 1 to each card. The card's ability is written in the bubble, like we said, and colored in. The ability bubble creates clarification so people can use multiple colors when coloring the artwork. So, Colin has some yellow and some green here, but he specified, specifically that this is poison. I guess that's your lime.
That's my
But,
lime.
yeah.
I didn't have a lime color.
But if you
Marker.
wanted to, you can color in more. If you wanted to make this guy's armor a different color, but make sure it was still a red card. So you don't have to use mono colors to color the cards. It allows you to have some creativity with it and
Some
color
people
and
are
stuff.
colorblind, so it specifies that. So
And you can just
once
write it in
everyone's
there.
able to play.
So the colors are as follows. There's red, which gives the card a range ability. So any card that colored red now has range. There's
Their
pink.
attack.
Yep. There's pink, that gives +1 attack. Then there's the intellect family. Purple, which is power, which gives +2 to attack at the cost of 1 health. There's magenta, which is wisdom, and cards with wisdom give a patrol mate a temporary level counter. So so you flip up a wisdom card and give a temporary level, so one other card becomes 1 powerful for the round. There's mobility for blue in the dexterity family. Any card that's blue can move from one patrol to another. There is teal, which is sneak. Sneak cards do damage before the enemy card. So if the enemy unit dies, sneak cards take no damage. The cunning family, which is cards hide for yellow. Cards that are yellow can be turned down instead of attacking, and you can write hide in the ability bubble. There's orange, which is counter, and that reveals a card to negate an enemy spell, which I'm assuming means stopping an enemy ability from happening, since we don't really have spells. Green is life family is green, health +1, or lime poison, which just gives it the reveal ability to poison something else. And then finally, the defense family, white. This is a shield ability that will negate all damage when attacked. Reveal a card with the shield ability to negate the damage when attacked. Neither unit does any damage. And then finally, gray for golem, which is +2 health at the cost of 1 attack. And so essentially, you color all the cards. You can do them all differently, and it gives them all different abilities. And so that'll kind of, that'll come up as Colin and I are playing. So, any questions?
No, I think that covers it.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, anything else that comes up we can deal with during the game. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in game 1.